It's different. The town hasn't changed. But there's a lot of faces that you don't recognize anymore. And there was a time you knew everybody. When I was growing up there, it was 3,000 people. Now it's over 10,000 population. So it's changed, but it's not changed, if you know what I mean. My name is Tom Stack. I immigrated here with my wife, Veronica, back in February of 1988, from a small town in North Cork called Charleville. Most of my working life was done in Killarney and in Germany. We won a lottery visa program that Congressman Brian Donnelly out of Massachusetts sponsored. So we came over here. We arrived in an airport, Newark Airport in New Jersey. There was friends of ours from Killarney, Liam and Anya O'Connor, picked us up at the airport. And they lived in the Bronx, so we arrived in the Bronx, and you would think you were back in Ireland. It was just full of Irish people on the area that we landed in the Bronx. It was amazing. I couldn't get over it. We would go out for drinks, dinner, whichever, and they wouldn't let us pay. And at one stage, I turned around after 3 or 4 weeks of this. I'm like, "This is embarrassing." I said, "Yeah, you have to let us pay. We have money." And they're like, "No, this is how things are done up here." In a few years, when your feet are on the ground, just play it forward, which is what I've been trying to do ever since. And my brother was already working down here in a place called the Powers Court Restaurant, which is on Capitol Hill. So he got me a job downstairs at an old Irish bar called the Dubliner. Eventually, the chef upstairs went home to get his green card, and he never came back. So I volunteered to go upstairs as the executive chef. I thought it would be for a few months. It ended up being for about 6 years. Some very interesting clientele, the likes of Ted Kennedy, Speaker of the House Tip O'Neill, his predecessor Foley. You had all the presidents of the workers' unions coming in at the time, iron workers, etc., EBW, postal workers. A good friend of mine, Jimmy Fagan from Mullingar, he opened a bar restaurant in Arlington, and I left the Dubliner Powers Court to go help him open his spot. And I told him I'd give him 6 months, and I stayed over 5 years with him. So I went from there to open here. We got the lease 20 years ago, 2000 in November. And we opened it for that month of November, and we closed it down the 1st of December and put it under construction. It was a cafeteria originally. And we reopened the 20th of January, Inauguration Day. When we opened here first, there was 15 car parks, and I'm talking flat pieces of land, nothing. And now there's only the one left, and that's 2.5 blocks away. Everything's been built, so it's been interesting to see it. The very first building was right beside us here, the Avalon, to be built. We painted a big huge sign on the gable, Irish Channel. It's all covered up now. Progress, right? Well, I was always interested in it because Mom and Dad owned the bar back in Ireland. That was our bar mat that we used back home, or Mom and Dad used. All the towns that are marked on the map of Ireland is where they went on their honeymoon. And there's a little box around Royal Charleville, is where they settled and bought a place. And the rest is history, as they say. The people have moved out, so it's run down now. But the building is still there. For me, I think the most important part of an Irish bar, or any bar for that matter, is we're in the hospitality business. You can hire whoever you want with whatever experience, but if they can't talk to somebody, what's the point? It's nice to be nice, you know. So we're in the hospitality business, even though we're going through hard times right now. We get good support from the likes of Kilbeggan from Ireland, and without companies like that supporting us, I don't know if all of us will get through this, to be honest. There's hardships as a business owner. Everybody thinks you're a millionaire. Nobody sees the costs of anything. Yeah, there's ups and downs every year. You have quiet times of the year and you have busy times of the year, and that goes for any restaurant, bar, anywhere. This pandemic is proving a little tougher because we got closed down 2 days before one of our busiest weekends of the year, so we lost that. So we reopened the 19th of June, and summertime in DC it's a tough time anyway. So we're hoping middle of September it'll start to pick up again. But I think we do need more people back in the city, as in the government worker coming back to their offices rather than working from home. I understand businesses it's proving to be cost effective to have them work from home. But I hear a lot of people are complaining they're working harder than they ever worked. So come back to the office, you know what I mean? Well, I'm close to retiring. I was further away now than I was 6 months ago, but yeah, I'm not sure what the future holds.